guys, so today I'm going to talk about the struggles and frustrations I have with hemiplegia and the things I do to become more independent as a young adult. So anyone who doesn't know what hemiplegia is, it's similar to a stroke, and in my case I was born with it. So I struggle with a lot of things on a daily basis, and as a 27-year-old it gets increasingly annoying as I want to be independent of other people, and especially my parents. So, for example, I struggle to tie my shoelaces, to cut my left fingernails as I'm affected on my right side, put on and take off jewellery like necklaces. This is the only necklace I can actually wear, and that's why I wear it so much. Peeling food like potatoes, opening cans like baked beans, cutting up mushrooms, anything that's similar to that. I struggle to use a cheese grater, cracking an egg, and tying my hair up, but I've got used to doing that in my 20s. It's always very loose. So I haven't got the hang of tying my shoelaces, but I find zips really helpful and I just go along with that. I do have a friend who's right hemi and he can tie his shoelaces, and I'm just amazed at that. So I haven't found a solution for cutting my left fingernails, but I think in that situation you'd always have to have someone to do that for you. I think if you wanted to live alone, I think it's worth getting a carer in to help you do that. Or if you are living with friends, I'm sure that they'll be there to support you to do that. With necklaces, I think it's worth getting a necklace that has a big trigger clasp. Otherwise, if it's too small, it's impossible to put on, really. So I find tying up my hair easier now than I did when I was little, because I had a wrist operation a few years ago. But what I do is hold my hair very tightly in my left hand and use my right hand as a support, and that works quite well. So unfortunately I can't show you that today as my hair is quite short, but I will show that in future videos. For opening cans, I think it's worth getting an electric or automatic can opener, which does the work for you. I've recently got an automatic can opener, which has made my life much easier. For peeling potatoes, I have a board that has spikes on it, and I just put the potato on the spikes and then use a peeler with my left hand, and that works pretty well. For cutting mushrooms, I think is pretty easy. I found out that you don't need to cut mushrooms with two hands, and yeah, I think it's just that you need to be quite careful with the knife you're using, but I think, yeah, you get it done really easily just with one hand. So using a cheese grater is quite difficult for me, and I think it is with any person with hemiplegia. But what I normally do when I cook pasta is put the block of cheese on the pot and put my right hand over it, and then grate the cheese with my left hand. And it is quite unsteady, but it gets the job done. And I understand that most people don't have that much control to even do that. And I think in that situation, box graters are pretty helpful. So I've got used to cracking an egg recently. I still find it hard, but I just crack the egg against the pan very hard and then use my right hand as a support to open the rest of the shell, and that works pretty well. So the social side of having hemiplegia can be very annoying as well. I can't shake someone's hand properly because my right thumb doesn't stretch out, and I think anyone who has right hemiplegia will understand this because the majority of the whole world is right-handed. But in that situation, I do always put my right hand out because I want to avoid having to explain my disability, but almost always they ask, so what's wrong with your hand? And I always have to say it. I always have to say that I'm disabled. And I do sort of like worry because I don't want to embarrass anyone. I don't want them to feel embarrassed about the situation or anything like that. But that always seems to happen. I think my advice would just you know, put your left hand out and not worry about what they think or anything like that. And in that situation, I just say I'm disabled, and they don't ask any more questions, and you know, I think that's fine. But I mean, saying that, I haven't had the confidence to do that yet, so yeah. So something I struggled at college with was doing presentations and verbal evaluations, because, well, everything that I say in my head, I can't say out loud very well. And when I write evaluations or anything like that, I sound like the most intelligent person in the whole world. And when I have to say it out loud, it just comes out all wrong, and it just sucks so much. But I mean, I do remember my lecturer saying to our class once, you know, so today we're going to do a verbal evaluation, and everyone in my class was so relieved, and I was so nervous, and it was like a complete nightmare to me. But that day I remember totally messing up, and then my friends helping me, and I was just like, oh, thank God, you know. But thank God that only happened once. But I had to do a lot of presentations when I was at college, and my advice would be to just prepare for it and just write down exactly what you're going to say. And I think that, you know, that should be fine. But I understand that you can't always know what the question's going to be, but I think you should just like write down a few questions of what you think they might say, and it should be fine, you know. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.